Hey guys, it's Maymay, and it is time to start another mini album. I put this in quotes, really quotes, because it's not an album and it's not going to be mini, so maybe I'm not starting either of those things. Do you guys remember that so many of you got together and sent me postcards, and it was to use in a mini album, and I love the idea of that, but when I got ready to put it together, I had so many things come to mind. Number one, I love this box that Tammy delivered all of the postcards to me in, and I want to incorporate this box. Secondly, I don't want this to end. Like, I don't want it to be an album that I create and then it's full. I want this to be something that you guys can do ongoing. If you want to send me a postcard from where you're from so I can keep it in my box, I would love it. So I'm going to do this a little bit differently and make it something I can keep for a very long time and add to it all the time. Now, this is still something you could make for a gift. This would be an awesome gift for somebody, and if you love these boxes like I do, it's a good way to use them. It's going to be a little bit different, a little, I don't want to say unwieldy, but it's going to be something that I really want to keep in the way I want to do it. So I hope you learned something from the process. The first thing I did was I emptied the box out. So the box is empty, you see that, and I'm just going to put the box to the side for now because really it's just going to be a container for the work we do. Now, I was playing around with some paper, doing some folding and some playing and things like that. And this is my thought. I want to create a little tag book for every single person that sent me postcards. So each person will have a little tag book for me. It's basically a little mini album for their postcards to go in. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So here's what I did. This is a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and I created this. This is just my pattern, really, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So this is kind of the way I'm going to do this. Then these, when they're completed, will stand in the box almost like, you remember those old ledgers, how you could flip through the ledgers? It'll be like that. And then as I get more postcards, I can create a little book for them like this and put it in there, and then I keep adding to my pile. I just think this is going to work better for me. At first I had another plan, but the more I think about it, that really limits my space. I was going to create like a little mailbox and it was going to be super cute, but I don't want to shut it off. I don't want to limit the space of how many I can put in there. So this is what we're going to do. So let's build one of these pages. So I want to show you guys a couple things before we get started. Originally, I purchased this paper, which is called Getaway, and it's made by Echo Park, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I purchased this to use in this album, but I think I've changed my mind since I've decided to put it in the box. So this paper is going to be something that we can use for another project. So watch for this one to come soon. I love it. It's all about travel, and I thought that would be super cool, but I think my idea has evolved over time. You guys may not care about the original plan, but I thought that was a neat thing to show you. Here's what I've decided. This paper pad was either sent to me or I purchased it. I think it was sent to me because it's not something I would have purchased, but I'm so glad I have it because I've used it like crazy. And I think this matches that box so well. And I think if I make all my tags out of these papers, these are my scraps, then all of my, then the box will be very cohesive. So this is the pad I'm going to use. And I may even go ahead and buy another one if I can find one, because that way over time I can keep adding to it. But I can always find something else that matches the paper too. Alright, so I'm going to take a piece of this out and show you how we're going to make the tags. If you were needing a gift for somebody, I think this would be a pretty neat gift, and I think it'll go kind of quick. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to do it this way, so I could be sure that when I got things in, I could make it pretty quick and not have it just pile up on me and not get it done. Because you know how we can get busy, right? Alright, let's do some score marks. I'm using 12 by 12 paper for every one of them, so that makes it super easy. And so if you come down here, I'm just going to go into 9, and I'm going to score at 9. Now, I need to tell you this too. I'm going to go ahead and make this score mark. I'm making a pocket here that's going to fold under. That's going to become our pocket. So you want to make sure you put your paper in your scoreboard the correct way. So if you have a pattern, the pattern should go this way, because this is actually going to flip under. So I'll do my first score at 9, and then I'm going to turn it and do the next score at 6. And this is actually right. This is the right way up. Does that make sense? Alright, so there is that, is our score lines. Now I'm going to come here to the back, and you can see that I have a score line right here. Now I want to do one thing. I found that just folding this creates way too much bulk, and I don't want all that bulk because I want to be able to have a lot of room in my box. So I'm going to come down here and cut a V shape, a very thin V shape, from the outer edge of that score line to the score line in the center. Once I cut this, you'll be able to see it'll make a lot more sense. This does not have to be perfect. You're just wanting to take some of that bulk out. And I tried doing this after it was folded and it did not look as good. So you want to go ahead and do this before you fold it. And that one is totally crooked. Let's try that again. After I said it doesn't have to be perfect. Just didn't care for that one. Okay, so now we have this little V shape. There, you can see it better that way. We have this little V shape cut out. Okay? Now then, we're just going to fold these guys up and crease it. Okay? And fold this guy up and crease it. So there's that. Now I want to give you a tip for folding. If you ever have trouble getting square folds, I want to show you a little trick. Leave your paper in your scoreboard, fold it over in the scoreboard and push it into the corner, and that way you know that it is lined up nice and straight all the way around, and then score it. So, and then burnish it. Do it while it's in there, and that way you know you're getting some nice, neat score lines. So see, nice and neat. All right, now I want to cut these little angle pieces out. And what I did to get my first one, I'm going to show you. I came in 1.5 inches and made myself a mark. Okay, then I turned it one time and did a score at 1.5 inches. And I did this so I could get basically a pattern piece. Okay, so now I'm just going to run my scissors from one score mark to the other and make a cut. And that basically gets me a pattern piece because I'm going to use this throughout the rest. I'm going to turn it to the white side so you can see it. And I'll just line it up in this corner. And you can either trace it or do it my way, which is to hold it in place. Put your scissors against it and cut. Just make sure your fingers are out of the way. Then you end up with a nice tag shape. And save that because you can use it for all the rest of them. Isn't that cool? I love this. And so it becomes a tag book. Now the next thing we need to do to the book, I'll move this out of the way so we can do that. Alright, so I'm going to use my wet glue along this line. If you use a dry glue, like a sticky tape, it never actually dries. So when you slide things into the pocket, they can grab on that adhesive. So I'm using this wet glue so that it will dry and anything I slide into the pockets will work. Now see, here's the reason I like this idea. Because this basically gives me a place to store letters that are written to me or cards or anything that's sent to me can go in this pocket and I can decorate the front with anything that's sent as well. I hope that makes sense. It will when we start decorating. And I'm only gluing one side of the pocket. This side I'm going to leave open because I don't have to close that side. It's like a folder, and so everything will just kind of stay in place. So there's that. Now I'm going to come up here and put a hole in here with my big crocodile. And my big hole, not my big crocodile, but the big hole of the crocodile. And I like to come down a little further. See how that room? Because I'm going to put ribbon or something through there, and I like to come down a little bit further. Now, you won't be able to put ribbon through both sides because then it won't open. But you can put ribbon through the front and you still have a tag when it opens. It'll be cute. Alright, so that's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and create enough for every person who sent me something. But I'll probably just create like extra so I'll have them in the book. So I think I'll start with 20 and we'll see how we get. So I'm going to do this 20 times. Alright, so then we'll get back together. So scoring 20 of them has not been a big deal. And I thought I would show you what I'm doing to kind of make this part go quicker. Let me find, this is cutting out the little points. I wanted to find a piece that you can see the score line on a lot better. So I've stacked up a bunch. Do you see how thick that is? That's probably 8 pieces stacked up. I'm using like a notebook back here so I don't go through on my cutting mat, although that's what a cutting mat is for. I'm having to press pretty firm and I don't want to cut all the way through my cutting mat. So now I'm just using a ruler on that score line to cut this little V out. This is just faster and easier, I think, than doing each one separately. So I'm just going to cut through till I can tell that I'm through. And you really can kind of feel, and if you're not sure, just lift up. And when they all lift up, you're through. See, got through. Now I'm just going to flip it around and do the same thing over here till I cut through. So as you can see, I cut multiples, and then my phone rang, so I went away to it, but I started folding. But I think cutting them all at the same time like that with the X-Acto knife and the ruler is really the way to go, because it saves you a lot of time. If you're making a bunch, you may only want to, you may not be making as many as me, but I think that saves a lot of time. So now I'm just going to fold them and glue them, just like I showed you earlier. While I'm doing this, I want to talk to you about this too. The reason I chose this paper pad, but one reason because it matches that book. The other thing is because it's a nature theme. And anytime you're working with things where people are just going to send you multiples or things that are something that they design or they create, nature seems to go with everything. Like if you get a picture of an amusement park, it still works in nature. Everything tends to blend into nature. Everything is out in nature in some way. So that's one reason I wanted to use the nature pack, or a pack that was so much about nature, because everything's going to match it. I feel that way about greens and blues, because you got the ground and the sky, and if you're ever wondering about making something that people can use, greens and blues are a good way to go. Reds kind of limit you. Yellows, oranges, those limit you, but greens and blues, colors that are in nature like that, especially on the large scale, you're in good shape. Okay guys, so check it out. This is 20 of them. See that? And let me show you how they're going to go in the box. So this is the box, and my plan is to take this lid off and put it here, like so. See that how it's kind of connected to the back, but I'm not going to glue it in place. I'm just going to keep it like that. And then I'm probably going to put a ribbon around it to hold it in place. And then these guys will stand up in the box like this. This will look better in pictures, but you see what I'm doing? And then as I get more, I can just add them and look how much space I've got. Now, I still have to decorate all these with the stuff I do have, but this gives you an idea of my plan for the box. Do you see what I'm saying? And I can cover the inside if I want to, whatever I want to do with it, but for now, we're just going to decorate these. So I'm going to take one out, and look how cute they are. Let's run through them. See how they turned out? Make sure I have them in the right direction. They are so cute, and they'll be very good in generic. It didn't matter which paper I used either. It all turned out really pretty. Like, see that? How that looks? Isn't that neato mosquito? Okay. So, let's do one. And I'm just going to reach into my pile and pull out something. It would be Garris. That's funny. I just grabbed this envelope, and I think it's Garris. Let me see. Yep. Yep, it is. And he gave me this cool washi tape, which I'm going to use too. And let's see. I got these cool buttons we can use. These are some stickers that he sent to me that have all kinds of London things on it. And check these out. Now see, the reason I wanted to do this size tag is because some of these are really large. See how big that is? And that way I can cover this whole front with it. Or I could use this one. I really like this one. If I wanted to cut them down, I could put them in there like this. I really don't want to cut them down though. I think I'm going to put it angled like that on the front. Do I want to angle it or do it like that? I don't know. I love it. Let me open this because I think I'm going to use it too. So this tape is super cool. And I think I'm going to use it on the front to put this guy down. That is going to look neat. I love that. That's cool. And I can put the other one on the back side. Or I can put it on the inside. I can put it in the pocket if I don't want to glue it down. See, that's what that's for if I want to keep them. I think I'm going to keep that in there so I can take it out. Did he write on the back? He probably wrote on the back of the other one with my luck. Let me see if I have an envelope from him too. I decided I'm going to punch out a square. It's a little scallop square. And then I'm going to write his name on that. Put this up. Make a big loud noise. I'm going to write from Gareth. And I'm going to put AKA Chum, because that's what I call him. And then, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this down using these stickers. I like this one. It has the Queen on it. Stick that down. That is super cool. This one says England. Then over here to this side. And this one goes this way, so I'm going to put it down here at the bottom because the orientation is different. Look how cute that is. Love it. Now I got to put the rest of this on. You know what else? I'm going to decorate it with this tape. Put some tape on it here. Like that. And add more of these. This is totally reminding me of him. I have something else I'm going to do to this in just a second. Flip this over, and I'm going to add some of these stickers up here. Oh, this one has a Big Ben and a double-decker bus on it. And I definitely want some on the back because the back's a little plain. These are perfect. I love that you sent me these stickers, Garrett. These are great. And they look just like you mailed this to me, like a bunch of postage stickers. I mean, a bunch of post stamps. This is the London Eye. That's super cool. Stick it down here in this corner. Sugar for tea time. And what is this one? I can't tell what that is, but I'm using it anyway, right here. So there's that. Now hang on, got one more thing to add to it. This is a card that Gareth made for me a while back, and it has some sweet things inside I don't want to forget. And look, I'm going to put it in this side. So now, anytime he sends me anything, I'll have a place just for him. Let's put something up here at the top. I have an idea. So I have this really stiff baker's twine that I like to use, and I'm going to cut a couple pieces off. Maybe 3, because I want it to be kind of meaty. Like so. Then I'm going to feed this through the front. Not all the way through, because remember, if we put it all the way through, we shut the whole tag. And we can't open it, so I'm just going to go through the front here. And I like to use multiple strands because it just feels thicker. That one little strand just gets kind of lost. So now let's just pull it snug without ripping it. There's that. Now I want to put one of these buttons on there. Let's see. Let me see if I can feed this through these holes. I sure can. That is cool. Feed it through the back side and then through the front. So leave myself this little circle. And we'll put these through it. Then I'm going to tie this button on. So I knotted the button. I'm going to cut these a little shorter. And then I want to add a button to this. I think this would be cute, like in the corners, like maybe like it's buttoned down. And then I'm going to save these, the rest of these, for another project. So see how basically this just becomes a little mini album per person? I think this is a neat idea. I hope that you guys are liking it. And I think you kind of see where I'm going with it. feed this through here, tie it in a knot. See if I can use this piece for this one. There we go, and I'm going to use some foam tape. On the back of these guys. Put one here. Oh, I love it. And then I'll put this one here. So that tag is from Gareth, and that will go into my box. And see how I've got extras in here, and I was able to use everything he sent me, and so that's super cool. So that's the first one for the box. Let's do another one. Let's do this one, and I'm just going to reach into the pile and pull something out. And this one is from, I don't want you guys to see addresses, so let me see. This is from Michelle Wilson, and it is from North Carolina. Check these out. Aren't those awesome? Oh, and here's the note. Is there a note on the back of this one? No. Okay, so this one I'm going to put into the pocket because there's a note on the back of that one. And then this gets to go on the front. And you know what? I think I can cut a tiny bit. I don't even have to cut that. It's going to fit perfect, just like that. So let's glue that down. So there's that, and I also want to try, I'm going to see if I can do this. So I'm going to bring this up where you guys can see it. This is her name from off of her envelope, from her return address. So it's kind of like her little signature. And I put it on some sticky tape. I had to do a little bit of doctoring because I ripped it and I had to fix it. So I think this will be super cute right there. So I can look at it and know that this one is from Michelle. And then let's put some baker's twine in it too. This time I'm going to use this copper colored one because I'm going to mix these guys up a little bit. Go. And I want them to be at varying heights in the book or in my box, so some of them will be longer than others, and that's a good thing. I'll stick this through here. This little purple sequiny flower, I'm going to put it right here at the bottom to kind of act like a button, although it's not. I think that'll be cute to have that little flower there. And so this tag belongs to Michelle Wilson, and see, I get to keep this. Now the cool thing is, if for any other reason I do anything where Michelle sends me a card or anything, I can put her stuff in here, and it's almost like having a file folder of keepsakes. I know that seems odd, but this way I can look back at this when we're going through and read her note, and I can always add more things to it. I love it. So there's number 2 for our box. So here's another one. It's just green. I'm just grabbing them out. Here's one. I don't even know who it's from at this point. Chambersburg. So this is from Angie and Andrew Burkhalter. Let me see where they wrote. Is that Burkhalter? Did I say it right? Burkholder. Alright, so this is that's a note on the back of there, and there's a note on the back of this one, but these two don't have notes, so we can put these down on our tag. So, look at that one. That looks cool. Which one do I like better? I like the blue one. So I'm going to glue this guy down at an angle. That green, those trees look so pretty on this green. See what I mean by using the colors in nature? Things just match when you do that. Now this one I'm going to put on the back side. Just like that. That looks cool. Now because these have writing in them, I'm just going to put them on the inside so I can pull those out and look at them. Isn't that neat? Now I'm going to do some embellishing here. I really love this washing. I'm going to put some more of this washing on here. I think it looks cool. Just going to come right down here. Put some at the bottom. I'm going to run a piece angled up here at the top and the bottom. The washi tape's a cool idea for this. I really like it. And then let's put some, I want to put twine or ribbon this time. Let's do ribbon. So this is a piece of white ribbon. I'm going to put that through here. And let that stick up like that. I'm going to trim that end again. I pulled it loose. And now I'm going to tie that on with a piece of baker's twine. So check it out. I love how that looks. See how simple that is? But what a keepsake this is going to be. So that's 3 different tags we've already done that quick. See how good these look? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and make a tag for every one that people have sent me. But what I'll do for you guys is I'll do 3 in a video. So that way you don't have to watch me, you know, do a billion at one time. So over the next few weeks, I'll just release videos where I'm doing 3 at a time until our box is full. And then I will show you what it looks like. And that'll be something for us to look forward to. So I hope you enjoyed this and you like the process and where we're going with this. And let me know what you think. And if you saw your postcard, mention it and tell me what you think about your tag. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.